What's up, guys? Dave Van Auken here. The red light is on. How's everyone doing today? Big show, fun show we got for you right now. Two parts. One, we have an amazing guest, an underrated name when you look all time in MMA, combat sports, and that stuff. Really, really can't wait. Talk to him. I got some fun questions for him. Cannot wait. Now he's 1-0 for Bare Knuckle FC. And two is, I don't know if you guys can see it. I finally got my stand-in desk. I can float, no more sitting. I can move and dance and jab. If I get jabbed at, I can move a little bit. So I'm in a real good mood. I know this man's in a good mood. He's now 1-0 for Bare Knuckle FC. I think one of the most vital signings that Bare Knuckle FC has signed. Talking about the heavyweight. I'm talking about the talent. Alan Belcher, my man. How are you?
I'm great, man. I am great. I'm still looking a little bit beat up, but I found out in BKFC that it's virtually impossible not to get hit, and
Right.
with the bare knuckles, even the punches that I took, not to take anything away from my opponent, but they were only clean enough, I guess, to bust the cut.
Right.
I had no headache, never got stunned or anything like that, but my face still got messed up. I really think it was the fifth round, which was kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, I'm pumped about next time because I'm not going to get hit.
I like that, man. So much there to unpack, honestly. So much you just said there. I kind of had something right off the bat. I definitely just want to touch on, and then we can keep going. I got so many things there. One, a lot of people you talk to, I talk to, and a lot of that stuff. And it's great to be in the spot I am. I hear a lot of stuff and a lot of inside, backside information, right? And I know you. I know you're not the man of excuses. You're just a go-getter. You're going to get the job done regardless. But I know you dealt with an injury, and I know you've never really made that, comment really going into it. How are you feeling now? Has the injury got any worse, or are you in a good spot and you just happy you got the W, my man?
Yeah, I was, man, I'm definitely happy that I got the W. I was dealing with a calf strain type of thing, like a little tear type of deal that was on my calf that kept me from. Are you still there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, brother.
Okay, because I can only see me, but I guess that's
I made you big. I made you big. You're the star.
All right, I appreciate that. So I had a calf strain going in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I didn't get to do the amount of sparring and conditioning that I wanted to. It kept me from moving exactly the way that I wanted to. So I think it's good. It just gives me something to say, hey, I can improve that. And right. I don't think in any way, shape, or form I should ever have an expectation of having a perfect training camp or a perfect fight. And I'm actually very excited that with my mindset, the way that it is now after this fight, not satisfied. I'm happy for a lot of reasons I'll get into, as we talk more about it. But for the most part, I'm not satisfied with my performance. I could do a lot better. But, yeah, man, it's healing up good now. I'm haven't jumped rope or ran or nothing in a few weeks, but I'm about to get after it. So I know I'm kind of known for being an athlete and most recently just health and fitness, my body, my athleticism, speed, strength, all that type of thing is kind of my thing. So I feel like I had a good showing there, but I can do so much more, dude.
Alan, that's incredible, man. Like if you look at other heavyweights and especially for debuts and see what they've done and what you've done and see the opponent you fought. And like I said, I talked to a lot of people going in this fight and they're like, guys, he's just a humongous human being. The man can take strikes. Like this is like, they didn't give Alan a pony. You know what I mean? Like sometimes they give out bare knuckle can, make a nice matchup every now and then. They gave you a tough ass test right away. And it was a domination of 5 rounds. To me, I think one of the most underrated things you did was you got all that ring time. You got all that time in that square circle. So the next fight and then the next fight, I think that's going to, huge benefits down the road.
For sure, 100%. I more than likely could have finished him if I would have focused on that. But I wanted to fill it out. I wanted to be cautious. I wanted to get the W. for so many reasons. Caution was the right move. Calm was the right move. But could I stop Tony Lopez? Sure. I think even in the fifth round, the direction that I was going, I mean, anytime I started unleashing hooks or uppercuts, it's going to be half a minute before the fight's over. And this fight, I mainly threw jabs, ones and twos, just to be cautious. So, and I hope that everyone else in the heavyweight division that might fight me, look at that fight and model it, because I have so many more tools that they'll never figure it out. They'll never figure it out.
Awesome. I got one question right after that, but this is the question I definitely wanted your sense, and love your mind. You've been around the game for a minute. 5 seconds right before you're about to toe the line, you're in there, you see him across, the referee's about to say it. He's about to say toe the line now, and he's about to say it. What the hell is going through your head? What's going through your head right in that moment?
Well, yeah, we're getting into some psychology now. And,
yes, sir.
What should be going through a fighter's head is nothing out of the ordinary. It should be whatever you're practicing, and that's what was going through my head. Stay calm and focus on your technique. Stick to the plan. Don't get in a pissing match with the other person, and let your hands go and have fun. That's what I was thinking. I got into that zone, really. That's that last state of mind. I really started for me about 2 weeks ago.
Wow,
so you're looking at 2 weeks. The thoughts that were going in my head before that, I'd started living that in that state of mind for 2 weeks. So every minute, every day, pretty much, just preparing for it. And a lot of people would probably think that would get in your head, right? But it's freedom for me, because when I went in there, there was no overwhelming nerves or anxiety or anything like that.
Right. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
It got a little exciting at times. I got a little bit excited. First round, when I landed my first right hand,
right,
with the bare knuckle, I was like, wow, that doesn't feel so bad. And then I had to kind of talk myself into calming down, because I was like, well, that didn't feel bad because, you landed it good on the chin or whatever. But if you hit him in the head, you could break your hand.
Of course.
So, dude, I learned so much in that fight. The fight was literally a learning experience. That's what it was for me. And now I've decided I want to keep doing this. I want to do my next 3 fights.
Okay.
And whoever fights me is fucked.
I like that.
A lot of good fighters in that division, though. Really, man.
Right.
There's a lot of good.
Right.
I have a lot of improvement.
Right.
And but I'm pretty confident of being, one of the top fighters. I think I'm the best. I'm the best in BKFC, probably, in the heavyweight.
Okay, let's transition right into that, because I already seen a couple of things you've done afterwards, and already said a name or two, and to me, I love how the heavyweights for bare knuckle UFC might be the best division. There's a lot of good guys, there's a lot of good names, there's a lot of nice records in that division, so it's stacked. You said everyone is fucked. Is there a name or two is there something personal that you do want to get into? And if I said this, I talked to Dylan Kleckler a week ago, right before his fight, and I actually loved and respected his answer. I said, hey, Alan, you can fight Belcher for the strap. They'll just say they put that in November, or they'll give you a big money fight. Then let's just throw it out here. Jake Paul's about to fight in a couple of days, right? Jake Paul will come over. They'll add 2 more zeros to your salary. Would you take a big money fight, or are you really trying to stay into that title range and stay with someone that's got a nice record?
Well, I think that the right thing to do is take money out of it.
Okay.
And fight that is going to make the most sense for my progression.
Okay.
You know, and that's one thing that I'm going to do differently is completely take my ego out of it. And you may hear me say things from time to time like, hey, I think I'm the best, whatever. But I mean, to me, it's logical and rational. So as I calculate everyone in the division, I look at everything. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, honestly, I think I'm better than everyone. I'm sorry.
Right.
They have, you know, someone like Belcher has experience, and he's better than me, in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And you can't take that away from him, and that has such an intrinsic value you can't even hardly measure it. So there is, it would be challenge as hell to fight him. But if I look at the way he fights and the way I fight, my speed versus his strength and endurance and all these types of things, I think I've beat him in most of those categories, if not all of them. Mentally, I'm on point now. I had to prove that to myself.
Sure.
That was probably one of my biggest concerns, is the mentality. And it's the biggest thing. 100%. You like, if people haven't figured that out yet, the mind is the most important part about fighting.
Right.
So for me, this was fighting a monster, a metaphorical monster that was so much bigger than Tony Lopez, which was the last 8 years of being in the back of my mind of like, man, you should do it again. You should, you left some money on the table. You left some, not really money.
You left some moments in the ring,
Yeah,
the cage.
exactly. The unfinished business, I guess you could say. And I just, it was a monster to me. It's like, dude, you want to go through all that stress again? And if you lose, you're looking at, 6 months to rebound from that. And it's just, it's like, dude, I fixed those problems though by facing that monster head on. And dude, really just kind of changed my whole life and turned into a completely different person.
Right.
And so, yeah, man, I'm really excited to see where this whole thing goes.
Us too at Fight Banaz, man. We are so excited for you, excited for the landscape right now, bare knuckle in the heavyweight division. One question I definitely wanted to ask you, and it's you're such a good person to talk to about it. You debuted in the UFC 2006, like, man, 15 years ago. Now you're in the co-main event of Bare Knuckle FC, something that wasn't even created when you were in the UFC in 2021. We're kind of going through a global pandemic, like. Just talk to me about the evolution of the fight game, the evolution of life. It's on an app now. There was no apps in 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the evolution of even you as a person, 2006 to 2021. It's unbelievable. I know there's so much there to unpack, but I just thought about it. It's like, man, you've had to been through so much. UFC, it's Ascension. Not fighting for a minute. Now Bare Knuckles Ascension. You're a part of it. Co-main event in Biloxi. Just like that's a story. That's a movie.
It really is, man, and you're right on. A lot of things have changed in the game, and when you're in there, you're in it, and you're all in, and it's hard to see, especially when you're young. It's hard to see what's really going on. You justify things and whatever. I had a lot of development, a lot of growth. I was very in a big hurry. I was really impatient. I was very impatient in my UFC career.
Right.
And I, looking back at it, I'm like, man, it was really in a short amount of time, I was a top contender in the UFC, or top 5 conversations within my first couple of fights. And I spent my career there. And it wasn't even really that long of a time. I needed more development. So getting out of fighting, for whatever reason that was, and doing other things, it allowed me to work on myself and develop in ways that I didn't even know were going to help me whenever I came back to fighting.
Right.
and as you know, Dean Toole was very influential in talking to me consistently every 3 to 6 months, probably at least at least once or twice a year. We would have a conversation every year,
Wow.
consistently every few months or every year at least. About he would get me close to, like, man, just look at this opportunity, look what's going on as things like World Series of Fighting developed, and then now the PFL and the trying to think of some other things arise, pop up or whatever. There's different opportunities, and for several years after the UFC, I was discussing coming back possibly. I didn't really, I was, I didn't know. I thought that was maybe the right thing to do, but there was
Right.
something that kind of just I didn't want to do it. It was just too much stress. It was just too much. I was like, man,
Right.
I bet I want to do something else. And there was a lot of opportunities over the year, and I was actually under contract for several years with the UFC. I think it's
Okay.
2014, or not several years, 13, 14. I said, no, I'm done. I'm retired, which is silly. I don't know if anybody should ever say that.
Right.
But
Especially in the fight game.
yeah, 29 years old.
Wow.
And then probably it was probably 2017 or 2018, maybe even 19, that um, I talked to the guys at the UFC and got released. So because I knew that I wanted to do pro grappling or boxing or
Right.
something, bucket list type of stuff, and that's really what I told them. And that's, you know this is more than bucket list item to me, obviously, but I knew that there was things that I wanted to accomplish or things that I wanted to experience, that it was going to hold me back with being in that UFC contract.
Right. Right.
So I did what a lot of people would probably don't even believe that I did, but I called him up and asked him to release me. So I got all the legal paperwork and everything to be released. I'm like, all right, I'm out. And I sat there for a couple of years, and um, this opportunity came up at the right time when I was really making some strides in my personal life, my personal health. I kind of decided to be the best version, you know, my character and my, personal life stuff. But also the really important part that made sense for this is my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be in the best shape of my life. So I started eating the way that a human being should eat, and not a bunch of bullshit. And
Right.
I did it perfect, consistent for months, and training twice a day. And then the opportunity came.
It's
You
funny
know,
how that works out, right? It's funny how life works like that. It really is. And I remember there was a good strong rumor maybe 18 months ago, 36 months ago. You even maybe entering Bellator. I remember that was kind of out there in the interwebs and the
yeah,
dark little closet. So it's always great. I'm so pumped that you're back. It's like I've always felt like you were one of those combat sports athletes. It's like, man, we needed more Alan Belcher. We really needed more of you. And like you said, left at 29 years young, like that, people are just fighting for the title at the first time at that age, maybe. So it's wonderful that you're back. We're so pumped. Alan, we got 5 fun questions for you. A lot of people talk fight game. We can talk fight game for hours. Me and you can go back and forth, but I want to kind of get people to maybe connect with you a little bit more, maybe a little bit some stuff outside the game, and see what you say. The first thing that pops your head. You ready?
okay.
All right, here we go, my man. What everyday thing do you still get excited about?
Oh, everyday thing that I get excited about,
Yep.
man. These days it's training.
Okay.
It's training every day, and I'm actually proud of that, man, because there was definitely a time where I was burnt out on training. But
Right.
yeah, I love it. It used to be food, that type of thing, or maybe unhealthy
Sure.
drinking, drugs, things like that. But I don't. For me, it's training, dude.
Okay. I like that. What's your who's your all-time favorite movie character?
All-time favorite movie character. I have a bunch of them that I look up to, but when I think of movie characters, I think of the bride in Kill Bill, and I know
Oh,
it's a female,
hey,
but you know what? She's a bad bitch. And
yep,
it's been a while since I saw that movie, but I just, I think her name was Beatrice, something,
yeah,
Beatrice Kiddo, something like that. Quentin
yeah.
Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino. Yep.
But the bride, this lady was in a coma and raped, and when she got out of that, she went on a mission to get her daughter back and to kill any motherfucker that stood in her way. He was a badass, dude.
Yeah.
And being on a mission like that, taking on something that most people won't do, and just being a survivor, I think the bride, yeah, that's the badass one. Oh yeah, and the second one, she clawed her way out of a coffin.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's a hard scene to watch. That's a hard one to watch. I think an underrated thing. What's the last book you've read?
Oh, damn! It's been a minute since I read a book. The last book I picked up to read was the Bible, for sure.
Okay, there you go. Hey.
I'm not a big Bible guy, religious guy or whatever, but I do study, and I am very spiritual. So I think that there's a lot to learn from historic books like the Bible.
Yes, sir. Two left, my man. One is who is your hero?
My hero. Oh damn, who is my hero? I really like The Rock. That's the first thing that pops in my head.
Okay.
Because when I'm thinking of hero, is like, who do I want to be? Like, The Rock he's just a badass, dude. Professional, someone who has parlayed being an athlete and a wrestler into being making it a complete business and a brand and just a fucking superstar. And you get that way. One thing I've learned from watching The Rock is this dude is every day works out like a madman and eats perfect. That's how he has built the whole thing. Something very simple like that.
Right.
That's how I model. So The Rock is my hero. It's the first thing I think of.
I love it. I love it. All right. Last one for you. You mentioned Dean Toole, bare knuckle David Feldman's doing some great things. If you were a promoter and I say, hey, Alan, I'm giving you $25 million, you can promote any fight. Right now, it's 2021, New Year's Eve. You pick the location, you pick the two fighters, and you pick what kind of combat zone do they fight in. Do they fight in a square circle? Do they fight in an octagon? Do they fight in an old school boxing ring? You're the promoter. Any fight you want, my man.
Am I one of the fighters?
You could be. You could be.
Well, of course. I'm going to make it about me. I got 25 million bucks. But so I'm going to have to give 23 million to Tyson Fury. And I'll fight him to New Year's Eve. Bare knuckle MMA.
Wow.
But he won't take the fight. So it's going to be bare knuckle boxing.
Bare knuckle boxing.
With modified rules that he wants.
Yeah.
Because I'm good with bare knuckle MMA.
Yeah. Game bred.
And I would be down with allowing headbutts too. But I don't think he would go for that. So it'd be me versus Tyson Fury. I'll pay him 23 million. I'll take the other million. And we'll do it New Year's Eve. Bare knuckle boxing with the rule modifications that he wants, time limits that he wants, amount of rounds that he wants.
Wow.
And hell yeah, it could be a hell of a fight. And I think I would win that one for sure.
I've asked that question around 10 to 12 times, different MMA athletes in the career. That's easily the best answer there. It's the talent, Alan Belcher. Man, we're big fans of you from afar. We've been trying to, communicate for a little bit. I'm so happy you're on the show. Alan Belcher, the talent, Bare Knuckle FC 1-0. Hopefully you fight again. I hope before the year's end. And we're there, man. We can't wait to watch your journey and see what's next for you, man. Congrats on everything.
I love your show. I love what you're doing, dude. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate everybody watching and supporting. This has been an amazing journey for me, and I'm just excited with the support and everything, man. So hell yeah.
Awesome, brother. Thank you, Alan. We'll talk soon, all right?